We're currently under the bleachers inside Rogers Center. It's a part of the stadium a lot of fans don't get to see. That right there, that's the Blue Jays clubhouse front doors. Now they're closed, but don't be fooled. There's lots of work already underway today. The franchise unveiling their brand new manager, and there's lots of talk about the revolutionary style of Blue Jays baseball that could be coming with him. That takes a big analytics approach.
Wherever I can find useful information, that's where I'm going to go.
Meet Charlie Montoyo, the 53-year-old native of Puerto Rico, now in charge of Canada's baseball team. He says he's part throwback, part new school manager who likes to use analytics when deploying his team, like the approach made famous in the 2011 movie Moneyball.
What's this?
This is the code that I've written for our year-to-year projections. This is building in all the intelligence that we have to project players.
Okay.
It's about getting things down to one number. Using the stats the way we read them, we'll find value in players that nobody else can see.
I'm a blend of old school and analytics, so, I think using both, I think that makes you a better manager.
Montoyo spent the last 22 seasons with the Tampa Bay Rays organization, most recently as bench coach, where the team this past year turned heads when they started games with relief pitchers instead of starting pitchers, as has been the norm for decades. Montoyo made it clear just because his former team tried certain things doesn't mean the Jays will, but he's open to pushing the envelope if it means gaining a competitive edge, a departure from the more traditional approach to the game the Blue Jays' former manager rolled out more often than not.
That's the way the game is going, and the Blue Jays haven't done that in recent years, and I think we'll probably see them starting to do things like that just because it makes sense, it works, and there are things that are supported by data that make sense on a baseball field.
In baseball, analytics can look at the data that suggests which direction a certain batter hits the ball or where players should shift their position in the field. Professor Pericles Androtis studies behavioral analytics. While he believes there's an emotional part of the game that needs to be part of a manager's decision, he says there's a whole new level of data that could influence the way the Blue Jays and others play the game in the very near future. Can you use analytics when looking at a player and thinking, is he the right guy for a high-pressure situation?
Absolutely. This is one of the things that I know is being used at the individual level, and you can predict things that you wouldn't even imagine, right? That sometimes players that you wouldn't think are the proper ones might be the proper ones to get you out of trouble.
It goes deeper than this player hits right, so he's going to hit to this place, or this is the arc on his swing, or this is how he pitches. It goes deeper than that.
My opinion is that we're just touching the surface right now.
Numbers aside, from a human aspect, there appears to be lots to admire about the Blue Jays' new bench boss. He's a husband. He also has two sons, aged 15 and 11, and he rose to baseball prominence from a Puerto Rican town of just 12,000 people. He's also the first Hispanic manager in Blue Jays history.